Hello everyone, welcome to Korea Complete KIIP Level 3 Grammar Review. So today we're going to be reviewing all the grammar points from Level 3 so you can pass the exam simply and easily. So let's get right into it. Alright, so first one is chanayo. And a lot of these Level 3 grammar points, they're not so high level, but at the same time, it's good to review them, right? So even myself reviewing all these grammar points, I've brushed up on a lot of stuff and learned things at an expert level. You learn the basics at like a high level, it's really good, and it can help you incorporate some of these points into your spoken language that maybe you haven't incorporated because you don't feel so comfortable with, but going over everything again, it helps. So even if you've done level 3 or whatnot, it doesn't hurt to watch this video and just review everything again. So first we have chanayo, and what this does is it reminds the speaker of some fact they know, right? So it's different from geo, right? Geo like hajio or kajio or whatever, igio. That's confirming information, right? So you're confirming with somebody. Like 미국 사람이지요, like you're American, right? Or you went, or you're going to eat pizza, right? Pizza 가지요, like you're going to get pizza. You're confirming something with the speaker. Well, chanayo is reminding them of something they already know, or pointing out something they already know, right? So, for instance, a good example is I was on the train from Daegu. I went to the Kolapum Festival. Really great place. Daegu is a really great city. I highly recommend going and visit there. And the Kolapum, the colorful festival in Daegu was really great. Had a great time. Everybody was really nice, and it was just a blast. Just a great festive atmosphere and a great downtown and great nightlife too in Daegu. But anyways, so I'm on the train and I'm sitting. The person next to me, we're driving through the countryside, and it stops in some little town, some little village, and an elderly couple gets on, and the elderly couple, the old man is like drinking, right? He's got a beer in his hand, he's got a cass in his hand, and he's talking with his wife very loudly next to me, the seats next to me, across the aisle from me. And to me, it didn't bother me so much because in the Western world, it's not a big deal to be, to casually speak on transit. But in Korea, obviously, it's a social norm that you don't talk on transit, buses, trains, planes. Um, it kind of makes people upset. It really makes people upset. So don't do that. But anyways, he was talking really loud, and you can see everybody's getting angry. The people in front of him are turning around and giving him dirty looks, and some people are kind of making some noises like she and blah blah blah. And the guy sitting next to me, maybe like a middle-aged man, he's like visibly frustrated. He looks at me and he says something, and I just look at him and I say, "시끄럽잖아요," right? So yeah, he's loud, as you know, right? He's loud, right? Or so kind of reminding him of the fact. But actually, in this case, you're more like pointing out something. So when you're pointing something out or reminding somebody of something for whatever reason. So here's a good example. 나는 지난 주말에 갔잖아. So I went there last weekend, as you know. So if you need to remind somebody that you went there, you'd say 갔잖아. And in this case, the past tense part is that it's last weekend, right? So you don't need to change the kata, the verb kata. You can just point out a past tense by the time signature. And next one is 미선은 땅콩 알레르기가 있잖아요. So 미선 has a peanut allergy, right? So if the person knows or maybe forgot or something, or you need to point out that Misan has a peanut allergy for whatever reason. So like say you're deciding on one food to get for lunch for all the students, and you say, "Oh, Misan 땅콩 알레르기가 있잖아요," right? So you're like, "Oh yeah, she has the peanut allergy, so like don't get that," right? Like, and lastly, as I said before, geo is confirming something you already know, or something you pretty much know, but you're just double checking, right? You're like, "Oh, you're from China, like 중국 사람이지요?" Something like that. Right? You pretty much know they're from China, but you're confirming or checking, right? So that's the difference between geo and chanayo. They're similar but different, and it's good to compare and contrast the two so you can clearly understand, because it kind of yeah, I was a little confused about these two, exactly the differences as well, but now I know. So that's why it's good to review even the most basic stuff, because you'll incorporate it into your speech and you'll use it very naturally. So, so here we have Kenan Yo, and Kenan Yo is a polite way to disagree with somebody or refute what somebody says. So that attaches onto the verb stem. You just cut off the da and you add Kenan Yo, and it's a polite way to say no or not, whatever, or yeah, to disagree with somebody. Very polite way. So if somebody's like, "Oh, 한국말 잘하시네요," right? You probably hear that a lot. And maybe you can speak Korean. Maybe you're just trying to be humble, or maybe you actually can speak Korean. And you say, 저는 한국말 잘하기는요. And you're saying, I can't speak well. I can't speak Korean well. And next, if somebody's like, "Oh, are you the manager of the store?" And you say, "저는 manager 기는요." Right? So I'm not the manager. And that way you're refuting the verb, which is to be. And lastly, if somebody asks you, "Does he study well?" You say, 그는 잘 공부하긴요. Right? And the reason I put this one here is that it's a contraction. 긴요 is a contraction of 기는요. 기는요 becomes 긴요. So remember that. If you see that written somebody or hear that, just remember that it's a contraction. And another thing is g는 is written form. Can't stress this enough that when you go out in the real world, don't use g는 or günya는, because actually I made a separate video, so you can go check that out, exactly why. Because günya는 sounds like a swear word. Sounds like saying that B word. And also in colloquial Korean, people don't say gının or günya는. They say ega, gusaram, gubun. So once again, if you're curious, you can go check out my other video. I outlined exactly how everything works, so go take a look. And another one we have is 는지 알다 모르다. So this is asking, so this has two functions. First one is, do you know something? So if you want to ask somebody, so basically, like Korean, the verb's always at the end, right? So how do you ask about other verbs, right? So you need to connect verbs to the verb endings, right? To kind of combine them together. So if you want to ask somebody like, how do you go to Haeundae, right? So in this case, you put the verb with nunji and arda, and you could ask somebody, for instance, like, how do you go to Haeundae Beach, right? Haeundae 해수욕장 어떻게 가는지 알라. So, do you know how to go to Haeundae Beach? And then you could say 가는지 몰라. right? And anything, right? You can also use this with the E verb, to be, ida. And like, do you know kimchi? Kimchi 있는지 알아? Do you know kimchi? Kimchi 는지 몰라. I don't know kimchi. And there you go. There's the translation. Do you know how to get to Haeundae Beach? I don't know how to get there. And next we have 10-day. And this is really important because it's very commonly used in everyday Korean. So this is actually something you want to definitely memorize and try to incorporate into your everyday speaking because it is very commonly used and it's very easy to use, and it really helps. It really makes you look like you know what you know Korean, right? When you start to use stuff like 10-day, it shows that you're starting to get the hang of Korean and people will take you more serious. And it's not that complicated. It's quite easy actually. So what it is it shows something you think or you don't know, right? Something that you think something is something, but you don't actually know, right? It's called supposition. So in English, it's like seems like blah blah blah, looks like something. When you say that in English, you think something, but you don't know exactly if it's true or not. So here's an example. It looks expensive. 비쌀 텐데, or 비쌀 텐데요, right? 이것 비쌀 텐데요, right? This looks expensive. The 신발은 비쌀 텐데요. The shoes look expensive. You don't actually know if they're expensive. You just think it. Oh, I think they're expensive. I think the shoes look expensive. Here's another one. 너는 바쁠 텐데, or 바쁠 텐데요. You look tired. So you don't know that the person's tired, right? You don't know if you haven't been with them all day, so you don't know exactly what they've been doing, but they just look like it. So you seem tired. You look tired. 너는 바쁠 텐데요. And here we have 누라고, and this is a little more complicated, but once again, it's actually used quite a lot in everyday Korean. So this is something you also want to memorize very well and understand at a high level and try to use it when you're speaking about stuff. Because once again, once you start using stuff like nurago in your Korean, people will be very impressed and they'll take you seriously and they'll want to talk to you more in Korean and stuff like that. So, but it's a little bit complicated. It's a little nuanced. So let's talk about exactly what it does. It shows a reason for something. So it's similar to because or since. It shows a reason. And the reason is not good, right? So it's usually something bad happened, or there's the outcome wasn't a happy one, basically, or a good one. So it's negative. And the two clauses are closely related, right? So a clause is another word for a sentence. And a sentence has a subject, verb, and object usually. And you can combine two of them with conjunctions, coordinating conjunctions like and so and but, right? Instead of having to chop your sentences up and speak very choppily, you can combine the sentence together with conjunctions, right? So it's a conjunction, and the two sentences have to be very closely related, right? So the first sentence is directly related to the second sentence, and the something you did in both sentences. So not necessarily you, but the subject, right? It's both clauses are about the same subject. And lastly, with the stem only. So you take the verb, chop off the da, and add it on. Don't change it into anything like that. Just the raw stem chopped off. And it's statements only, right? So you can't use it with haseo or harka or anything like that. It has to be just a statement. So here's the first example. 어젯밤, 어젯밤에 만화를 읽느라고 숙제를 못 했어요. So So here we have Naraku, which is another really good like grammar component that's good to get into your like incorporate into your spoken speech. So once you start using stuff like Nurago, people will be very impressed with you and they'll start to take you more serious and speak to you more in Korean. So this is a good one to memorize and incorporate. So for instance, 어젯 밤에 만화를 읽느라고 숙제를 못했어요. So first thing is if you're wondering why there's a shit here with 어제, like yesterday's 어제, right? So why is it 어젯 밤? This is called a sai shit, which means like usually when you combine two nouns together, you put the shit there, and it just helps you distinguish, right? Instead of 어젯밤에, you say 어젯밤. It helps you like distinguish the two words you're combining together. So you'll see that sometimes. So don't worry about it too much, but just understand that sometimes when two nouns are combined, you put a shit to break them up. When the way it's spoken, it kind of breaks it up in speech. Anyways, so you have two clauses here, right? So you have a clause here and a clause here, right? Or a sentence, right? And the subject would be na, right? Or 나는. And you could put that in both clauses and it would work. So 나는 어젯밤에 만화를 읽다. So I was reading last night. So I couldn't do my homework. Right? 나는 숙제를 못했어요. So 느라고 shows the relationship between clause 1 and clause 2, right? And it's that way you combine two clauses with conjunctions in English, like so, but, and, whatever, right? And in this case, this is like a conjunction, but it shows more information than what conjunctions in English show, right? This actually shows a negative reason, right? It's like because, but negative because, right? So I was reading comics last night, so I didn't do my homework. It's like a negative so. Next one is 영화를 보느라고 전화를 놓았어. So here we go. We have the clause 1 and clause 2. And I was watching a movie and turned off my phone, right? So if somebody's asking you, why didn't you pick up your phone when I called you? And this is what you would say, right? Because I was watching my, or and, right? This is a conjunction. And, but, for, so, right? Those are all conjunctions. And you're saying because I was watching a movie, or I was watching a movie and turned off my phone, I didn't receive your call, right? And that's why it's a negative, right? Because the person's angry that you didn't pick up the phone, and this is a bad thing, right? You needed to do your homework, but you didn't, so that's why it's a negative. And 전화를 in this case is a noun. When you put 를 on 전화, it makes it a noun, so your phone. And 전화하다 is to call someone, and 카 is to turn off. You're probably wondering why 놓다. And when you add 놓다 to a verb, it shows that the verb continues on, right? So this way, the phone remained off. That's what's basically saying, right? So when you use an adjective in present tense or past tense, it just shows that the action happened. It doesn't say how long it happens, right? So this is showing the listener information that the verb continued on in that state, right? The state. That's what it really shows. So his phone remained off. And another thing is, it's not no asayo, it's not no hasayo. The H or hit is deleted. It's not put into this space. It's actually just deleted. So it's no asayo, no asayo. And lastly, 논문을 쓰라고 시간이 없는다. So I have no time because I'm writing my thesis, right? In this case, it doesn't always have to be past tense, right? It can be, or no, it doesn't always have to be past tense. It can be present tense. So the person's showing that because they're writing their thesis, they have no time as of now, right? In the present tense, the person has no time. That's what it's showing. But the verb that connects to nurago, like 쓰다 or 보다, is never conjugated. It's just take the infinitive, the verb stem, chop off the da, and add it to nurago. So here we have 동안, and 동안 has three uh, different meanings or things it can mean in English at least. So that's why it's good to review even the most basic and simple grammar because it really helps build on your foundation and speak very fluently and well at a low level, right? So you don't necessarily need to use big words or big grammar to sound like you're good at Korean, right? Actually, you could just use the basics at a very high level. That's more impressive than using like big grammar that people don't use in spoken language. So firstly, we have 오늘을 2시간 동안 공부한 거야. So this is past tense. I studied for 2 hours, and don't be scared of goya, right? So basically, goya is banmar. It's very, very low level banmar, but people use it a lot, right? So obviously, this is very, very low level. Don't use this with anybody other than your friends, your close friends, and stuff like that. So you can say for present tense, 하는 거야. That's present tense. And when you put the nian at the bottom, 한 거야, it's past tense. And when you're looking for future, it's 할 거야, right? So that's three ways to conjugate a verb in very low level, very friendly 반말. 한 거야, 하는 거야, 할 거야. And if it's a if it's a verb with a consonant in the 받침, example 먹다, it's 먹은 거야, 먹는 거야, 먹을 거야. Next one is 저는 여름 동안 여행 가요. So I go on vacation during summer. So I go on vacation during summer. And last one, while I work out, I listen to music. 나는 운동하는 거야. 음악 들어. So when you use a verb, it's always 는, right? So unconjugated, chop off the da, add 는 to your verb, and that's how you can show a verb that is during or while, right? So it's a very good thing to learn, and that's the last one. So thanks for watching part one, guys. I really appreciate your support. If you want to support this channel, please subscribe. It really helps motivate me to keep going and shows me, what's good, what you guys like, what you don't like. So thanks for listening and watching. I really hope you learned something. And part two will be coming soon. So as soon as I have time, I'll make sure to keep posting up as much as I can. But as you know, it's a long course. It's a 100-hour course, and it takes 3 months every weekend or something, 2 times a week. It's a lot. It's a lot of grammar. It takes a long time to review everything. So thanks for your patience, and I hope you learn something and enjoy it and pass your exam. So good luck, guys. Thanks again. Have a good day.